Hey there, Twins fans. My name is Seth Stoes, Twins Daily, twinsdaily.com, welcoming you to the first issue or edition of the Twins Spotlight for this offseason. Tough year for the Twins, but certainly many really good stories throughout the year, and it'll be an interesting offseason to be sure. But I think one of the best stories of the season is our first guest of the show this year, and that is none other than Ryan Fitzgerald. Ryan, first of all, thank you so much for joining.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Seth.
Absolutely. Well, I want to jump into it right away here, kind of. And I guess the question becomes, what was it about the Twins that caused you to sign? Before that, you were with the Red Sox for a number of years. Even going to the Royals was a Rule 5 type of thing. Mm-hmm. This was kind of your first time as a free agent. What was it about the Twins, or what made that your choice?
Yeah. Well, thank you for making it seem like I had a ton of choices. But
phrase that carefully.
Yeah, I played 6 years with the Red Sox, got minor league Rule 5 over to the Royals, and then became a free agent. And I played down in the Dominican for 2 off seasons. I'm planning on going back this year. I don't know. We're still trying to figure that out if that's the best move for me or not. But the hitting coach down there was a coordinator with the Twins, and he was the one that kind of got me linked up with the Twins. And they ended up offering me a contract then after the winter ball season in January, and that's how I ended up with the Twins.
Very cool. Well, I want to bring on just a couple of things here. So season's been done here for a little while, a little over a month or around a month. And so I've got to ask, what questions are you getting from family, friends that you're seeing from the first for the first time since, you've been back for the off season? So I'm going to throw on a couple of videos. I never know how this is going to work, but we're going to try it here. So are you getting questions most about this, which would of course be right. So is that the question you're getting asked most about, or is it about this play, which of course everyone remembers? I'm sure people are talking about that. But also, I do want to show another play here. I hope I did this right. But this play, also in your debut, pretty impressive. Nothing to it.
Yeah. You know what's funny about that catch is I asked our internal guy Joey, what was the percentage of that catch? Like, what was the percentage of that play being made? And it was like 90-something% because it doesn't take into account where the tarps are at.
Right.
So if I don't catch that, I'm getting docked a little bit.
Your defensive WAR is going to be pretty not good with that one.
Yeah.
It's like a reliever giving up 6 runs in a third of an inning at the beginning of the year. Well, it wasn't your first time you've experienced the tarp. I look back at your time with the Red Sox organization, and this was in AAA Worcester one year. Let's see if we can bring this up. Oh, there you are.
Yep.
Tarp experiences.
Yeah,
that's what I love about doing these things is you always got to find stuff to research. And
that's my guy to the left of me, to the right on the camera, but to the left of me, Sneds. He's one of my favorite grounds crew guys that I've ever had in my career. But they do a good job over there in Worcester.
That's fantastic. So let's get to some of those highlights. I mean, first of all, everyone wants to know. You have talked a little bit about how you were playing a doubleheader in AAA, and so you're playing a doubleheader. You play the first game, and apparently the first game didn't go well.
No.
So Toby says you're not in the lineup in game 2. You're probably not very happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
How did things change early in that second game?
Yeah, as soon as the game started, we were getting word, that some of the guys started obviously looking up on their phones in between games what was going on, and they started saying Correa was going on potential concussion call protocol, and then Buxton obviously was part of that collision, so it was another guy that was kind of possible to be on the IL. So yeah, they were just holding me out just in case they needed to send me up there. And so it was kind of like you're kind of stuck in limbo. Like I didn't want to get excited because, it could very easily be, hey, you're not going, something like that. So, but yeah, by the third inning, Toby came down to the end of the dugout and he's just like, hey man, you're going up. They gotta put Cray on concussion protocol and you'll be in Milwaukee. So that was I don't know. It was interesting. I didn't really know what to think right then and there. Mike Ford was on our team. He was right there at the top step, and he gave me a big hug. And one of actually the left fielder for Des Moines, I played with him in Worcester. And in Des Moines, you got to run across the field to get to the dugout or to the locker room out there.
Yeah.
So I was running across the field, and I saw him in left field and gave him a hug too on my way out. But yeah, that was definitely a good memory for me.
Absolutely. But then it kind of became a little crazier. I mean, you're 30. It's not like you're 21 and it just happens right away. You're 30, so it can't happen easily.
Mm-hmm.
The flight out of Chicago to Milwaukee is canceled.
Yeah, Des Moines. It was out of Des Moines. Des Moines to Chicago, and then they had a driving service to pick me up and take me to Milwaukee. But I don't know, bad weather. They're like, yeah, it's going to be delayed by at least 3 hours. And I'm like, I mean, I could make it to Milwaukee by then. I had my car with me in Des Moines too. So yeah, the only problem was we had all of our bags on the plane already. So we're hassling with the people there to try to get our bags off the plane. Cause my baseball stuff's with me too. I could carry, the clothing, I don't care. Just give me my baseball stuff.
Yeah. Bring your Saints uniform with you.
Yeah. I'll figure it out. Like, just give me my glove at least. But yeah, they got it off the plane for us, and we hopped in the car and we drove to Milwaukee.
Wow! And it was not only you and your girlfriend, but the dog too.
We had the dog, yeah, we had the dog.
I mean, you guys are making. I mean, it's tough enough. You got phone calls to make when you get that call.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're also calling like pet pantries and things like that. So, talk a little bit. I saw your girlfriend was in Des Moines with you there, but who were your first phone calls? And I mean, pretty amazing experience.
Yeah. I obviously called my parents first. Actually, I texted my little brother and I told him and I said, hey, I want you to pull your phone out and videotape them when I call them. So I got that video. But yeah, I called them. They were obviously super excited. 2 hours away from home. Milwaukee's right there, so they were able to make it out. A couple friends and trainers and stuff and guys that have just catapulted my career. They were able to see the game as well. So it was a lot of mayhem.
That's fantastic. I mean, it just makes for the better story. Even it's already a great story and all that, but it can't just go perfectly. But you get there late, and I think it was an earlier day game maybe. Inning number 2, Willie Castro gets hurt. You're thrown out there. I mean, how was the adrenaline kicking in? I've talked to players who made their major league debuts, like bullpen guys that don't feel their legs when they're running in from the bullpen. What was going through your head at that point?
Yeah. I think if I was younger, it would have been a little bit like that. But just, I mean, I'm older than most of the guys on the team. So running out there, I don't know, it just felt right. Honestly, I wasn't expecting to go in because, Rocco would tell me I wasn't playing that day. And, obviously when Willie hit the ball off his leg, they told Jonah Bride to get ready. So at first I started getting ready thinking, okay, maybe it'll be me, just to kind of like be prepared for it. But they told Jonah to get ready, and then they told Jonah to, hey, you're not going, actually, you're going. So it was like I got ready a little bit, and then I put my hoodie back on, and then he's like, actually, you're going. And I was like, all right, here we go. I'd rather it be that way. I didn't have any time to think about it. You just go, and it's just kind of autopilot at that point.
Well, along the same lines, I want to say, but I might be wrong by an inning or two, but didn't you get a couple of ground balls pretty quickly?
Yeah, I did. Christian Yelich, after I think it was the third or fourth inning, got one from him. I think I got one later in the game, but yeah, I had Chad Patrick, I think, was the pitcher.
Yep.
And then I ended up facing Tyler Alexander later in the game, and it was like they were going to have me bunt and all this stuff. And I don't know. It was funny because they're like, can you bunt? I'm like, yeah, I bunt all the time. So like, all right, well, we might have you bunt if he gets on. I was like, all right, sounds good. But yeah, it was a good experience.
Got to be honest, I've never bunted in the big leagues, though.
Yeah.
By the way, we're on live here on Twins Daily Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, I believe. And if you've got any questions for Ryan, please feel free to use the chat and ask those. Right now, we just have somebody saying, hello, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Thanks for joining us. But yes, if anyone's got any questions or comments or just want to say congratulations, please feel free to do that. You were only up for, say, a week, about approximately. But so your first day there, you get into the game, you play most of it. Your other game, you just got in the ninth inning as a pinch runner.
Yep.
And scored the winning run on a walk-off, which, I mean, what a crazy experience. I mean, for those two games, something big was happening at all times.
Yeah. No, I was just glad Cody hit it in the gap, so I didn't have to run too hard.
No diving or fancy slides or anything like that. Okay, then you went back down to St. Paul, and I know you had a couple stints on the injured list. I think a hamstring, maybe both times.
Yeah, I had an ankle and hamstring.
Okay. And I guess what's your mindset? Because, I mean, there's one thing, like, you get to the big leagues, you get your week, it's the greatest week ever. You get sent back down, but just optioned. And then you get to August. I mean, are you thinking I'm going to get up there in September, or are you even allowing yourself to think that yet?
No, I used to play that game all the time.
Yeah.
Try to be the GM. It's just, it never plays out well mentally for me. So
Yeah.
I stopped playing that game probably 5 years ago.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I go out and play. It's I said to a couple people, like getting up there and not playing, it's cool, but I like to play. In a way, I was kind of happy to go down to AAA and play more because it's like I just like playing. That's what I told guys. This offseason, like, I want to go play winter ball, and they're like, well, why? There's no need to. Like, you're on a big league roster and all that. I'm like, I don't care. I just like playing baseball. So
No,
I don't know, but yeah, it's it's just, I like playing. That's all it is.
So then you do get called up after the Twins trade off a bunch of people, including Castro and others. And you get called up, one of 6 players I think they called up directly from St. Paul. And there might have been even more that I think, like Urania and Ramirez were added to the 40 and called up. So just a crazy kind of moment. But I think it was your second game, you got to start, and that's the game we showed with the home run.
Mm-hmm.
Does that, I mean, I know a home run is what it is. A hit is what it is. You'd have been thrilled with a single for your first hit, I'm sure. But to get your first, hit and home run out of the way, that was pretty unique. It's pretty special. Did you have family there at that point too? Did they come back in August?
Yeah, no, I didn't. Well, I hadn't been playing. That was the thing. I mean, we got there in August, and we were in Cleveland, and I think I came in as a defensive replacement for like the 9th inning or something in Cleveland, and then I didn't play in Detroit, and then we came back, and I didn't play the first 2 games there. So my parents were just like, "Well, try to let us know when you're playing." And I didn't find out that I was playing on that Sunday until I think it was like 11 o'clock at night or something. They sent out the lineups. So I told my parents, but they weren't able to make it. But my girlfriend was there, and she saw it, and obviously it was all on TV, and everybody was watching.
I assume the point up to the stands was to her.
Yeah.
Because at least you didn't forget to point out to the bullpen, because I know that's a pretty big deal if you don't do that.
Yeah, it's nice too that it's right in front of you as you're running around second. Sometimes you got the bullpens behind you and you forget, but yeah, it's nice having them in front of us.
Absolutely. So that home run was off of Ryan Berger, who they had just acquired in a trade from San Diego, and he looked pretty good in the little that we saw him. Do you remember who you had 4 home runs over the last 2 months? Do you remember who they were against?
I know there was 2 righties and 2 lefties. That's all I can remember. I'm not good with that. I don't know. Every time we get into a hitters meeting and hitting coach is like, "Oh, Fitz, you faced him before." I was like, I can't remember.
Yeah, I know. You don't keep like a little notebook or anything of
Yeah,
documenting who
I used to, but they have it all electronic now. So it's like if I need to pull it up, I got it right there. They got video. They got video from the open side, the back side, all the different angles. So yeah, it's all electronic now.
There's one of those lefty home runs. I'll turn down the volume. I just figured another one that people would ask you about is home run against the Yankees has to be kind of cool.
Yeah, I honestly I don't think too many people were watching that game, honestly. Especially after like the first inning because we were down like 8-0, I think.
Now, there's probably a lot of people flipping over to Netflix at that point or something. But here, well, I mean, let's just talk about this for a minute. I'm sure you've answered questions left and right on this. I mean, that's just it's not instinct, it's not athleticism, it's all of these different things thrown together, and maybe just a little luck.
Yeah, a little luck for sure. I'm not a big base stealer. That's the thing. That's the one piece of my game that like I've never really learned. I talked to Tommy Watkins a lot about it this year, and like, cause my speed, like they're looking at it, they're telling me like you're not slow, like you're above league average, like should be stealing more bags. I mean, a lot of it too is like I'll get on first or something. And it's like I got Buxton hitting. It's like, well, I don't want to get thrown out with Buxton at the plate, so that doesn't make sense. So, but yeah, they were like, hey, we want you to steal. I was pinch running in this situation. I'm like, 2 outs, we're up by 3. Like stealing third just doesn't make sense to me. Like we're already up, like 2 outs. If I get thrown out, inning's over. They were like, no, like we want you to go. Like this guy's really slow to the plate. All right, so I've never stolen a bag in the big leagues before, and I was trying to jump him, and he saw me trying to jump him a couple pitches before, and he picked. Obviously, it made sense for him to pick, but I jumped and he spun around and threw it. I'm like, ah, crap. So I tried to get back as best I could, and thank God the infielder had his arm extended already because he couldn't go any further, and I was able to like slam the brakes on to get around it. But if he had his arm bent a little bit, I don't think I'm getting around that tag.
Yeah, I get that. Let's get to a couple of questions that Chris actually asked, just to show that I really will ask these questions if people get there. The first one is, who's the toughest pitcher you faced? And I'm assuming you faced a lot of guys in the minors that you might have a different opinion from that, but you got to face some pretty good pitchers up in the big leagues too.
Yeah, I'll give you like all-time least favorite, and it's a former Twin, Louis Varlin. I think when I faced him in the minors, I think I'm like 0 for 10 with like 7 Ks. Like I don't know what it is, but I tried everything against him, different bats, different batting stances. Like I couldn't figure him out. But he was the toughest one for me. And then probably in the big leagues, the toughest would be Tim Hill from the Yankees reliever. He's the one that's like super low, lefty, submarine guy. Just a tough angle for me. It's tough for me to see that. But I faced Carlos Rodon. Honestly, I'd rather face him than Tim Hill. Face Jacob deGrom. I'd probably put him up there as well. His fastball is definitely different. But yeah, I think Tim Hill would be my number one.
I was going to say, let me follow up on that just a little bit. Is it Rodon just as more, I don't know if a normal is the right word, but
yeah, no, stock normal. Yeah, the delivery is a little bit more normal. I mean, his stuff is obviously really good, but
right.
I'd rather have good stuff with a normal delivery than whatever. I don't practice that. No one does. Yeah. So it's just a completely different angle and different view that you're just not really ready for.
Absolutely. And here's another topic I was hoping to get into here, but looking throughout the minors and even going back to your time at Creighton, you played some short, but at Creighton you played a lot of second because Nicky Lopez was playing short. And then you got to the Red Sox organization, and for a long time you played mostly short. Mm-hmm. And then maybe it's just been the last couple of years where you play a little third, little second, little short, kind of all over, mostly short and second, I would say. So here, that's my lead into Chris asking, I'm amazed by your hands and glove work in the field. How hard do you work on your fielding?
Yeah, I worked a lot on it as a kid. Nowadays it's more just maintaining, just making sure your timing is on time with hops and reading hops, stuff like that. Getting good jumps. It's not so much the fundamentals of fielding it, I would say, but man, I hammered out the fundamentals as a kid. I played pepper in the backyard with my dad 3-4 times a week, and our backyard wasn't as pristine a grass as you get in the big leagues. So you're getting bad hops and stuff like that, learning to throw from different angles and, getting your body into different positions. So I think that was like a big foundation builder for me, was having him just, play pepper with me all the time in the backyard. And he's still my training partner to this day. He still hits me grounders and, he doesn't throw me BP anymore, but he feeds the machine for me. And, we still play catch and stuff. So it's, I definitely give the credit to him for building that infield defense stuff for me.
Oh, that's fantastic. So when I was, a long time ago played, I played a lot of short, and I didn't have any problem transitioning over to third. It's just more instinct but it's the similar angle. I really struggled going from short to second. And I don't know if it's more, do you think it's more footwork, or do you think it's just remembering you have more time and not panicking? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, honestly. Because when I'm playing second, it's like a breath of fresh air for me, because you don't have to worry about, getting to the ball quicker, really charging anything as much. You can sit back on balls and, take a longer hop and not have to get rid of it as quick. The only thing at second, I think, is that for me, when I went from short to second, was turning the double plays. That's just, obviously getting your momentum. Yeah, because you're kind of going away from first base, then you have to throw the ball back to first base. So that was kind of like the biggest thing for me, playing second base. But I love playing second. It's a lot easier.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely something there. I want to ask about this one more thing, and it's actually two more videos. And we like showing home runs here. This is your one in Philadelphia, the final series of the
Mm-hmm.
I think you got a hold of that one, right?
I did, yeah.
So you knew it was out, huh?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was my only no doubter I think I had this year.
But I mean, I think, let's go back here a little bit. Yeah, you watched it a little bit. Oh, I was going to see if we got a little bat flip. Was there a flip with that one?
No, not really. No, I mean, I didn't want to do it to the Phillies. I mean, they're obviously going to the playoffs, and we were eliminated at that point. So I didn't want to be that guy that was, getting things going when I didn't need to.
I got to ask what that is as well.
That turned into like our home run hit celebration later in the year. Just it's kind of an inside joke, I guess. Okay. We had I don't want to name any
trouble.
I'm not going to name any names, but we had one of our guys, not a player. He was doing a shoulder program. He said because he's at the computer too long during the day, so his shoulder would hurt. So we'd see him in the training room doing these shoulder exercises. So we were kind of mocking him a little bit doing that.
I can understand that as a longtime blogger. Sitting in my parents' basement.
Yeah.
Kidding. The shoulder hurts a little bit. You gotta stretch it out.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So, here's the other thing that I found is you had your bat flip on your first home run, and then you said something to the effect of, "I'm just glad it got out of there."
Yeah, that would have been a tough look if it didn't.
Yeah, but you've been bat flipping for a while. This is one in the Dominican. This is a good one.
This was a really good one.
Yeah, that was fantastic. There's another angle that comes up here shortly, but I mean, honestly, I've hit a few back in the day, and it's almost like you don't feel the ball make contact. It just goes through. And I imagine that's kind of how those feel. Yeah.
I mean, down in the DR, there's a little bit more flair. I mean, guys play that way, so it wasn't too out of context for me to do that. But
no,
I think we ended up winning that game 1-0. That was the only run we scored, and we won the game 1-0. Yeah. What's funny is I've faced Paulo Espino, the pitcher there, probably I don't know 5 times in my career between the minors and down in the Dominican, and I'm 3 for 5 with 3 homers off it.
Really?
Yeah.
I love this angle right here. Yeah. This is a great angle.
Yeah.
That's a good one. So I'm looking at this swing, and I look at your numbers throughout your time in the minor leagues. What kind of would you generally consider the type of hitter that you are? Are you are you a gap-to-gap power? Are you a home run, slap? I mean, that swing isn't that of a slap hitter. But
yeah. I mean, the game's changing, I mean, it's changing. It's changed and continuing to change.
Yes.
Obviously I'm not like that old, but when I first came into affiliate ball, I mean, the game wasn't really fully onto this hit the ball in the air thing yet. That was, hey, just don't strike out, put the ball in play still. Even when I played indie ball in college, it was all just like put the ball on the ground and run.
Yeah.
Which I did, but like I had never trained to hit the ball in the air and to hit for power. And that was just something I started doing kind of around 2019. So after my second year with the Red Sox, I started doing that. 2019, I had like a 33.6% line drive rate, which was like the highest of the StatCast era between the MLB and the minor leagues. I think the second highest was Freddie Freeman at like 31.2, I want to say, and he won the MVP that year. So I was like, okay, if I'm hitting this many line drives, but I got under 700 OPS, like, well, what's the problem here? So that's when I started training more bat speed and to hit for more power. And I wouldn't say I'm, per se a power hitter, but I definitely can hit them with the big boys. I just probably won't hit them as often, but I won't strike out as much either. So
yeah, I mean, it's a little give and take when you're doing that as well.
Right.
See, that's what I appreciated about, and I don't mean to group you with a bunch of players, but you're a type of player that you can turn on a ball if you want to. Mm-hmm. I mean, I always talk about Nick Gordon. I don't know if you ever played with
or
against him. He would in batting practice just turn on some balls and hit them about 450, to right.
Right,
but in the game, he would slap a single to left and do that.
Right.
I mean, every once in a while, he'll get one, but it's. I think that's the more fun brand of ball.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, being more well-rounded, definitely. I mean, it's a good brand if you can do it all.
All right. Again, we're here with Ryan Fitzgerald. If anyone's got any questions, please feel free to ask them. I do want to just kind of. You talked a little bit about, how you made some adjustments a few years ago. Are you able to make some adjustments in season, or do you need to get through your season, kind of take a look back and start planning ahead? Did you have any conversations with a coach or something on what to do specifically?
Yeah, not really. I kind of been on. I've been on my own my whole career, really, and I got guys that help me here back home, and they got access to all the databases that the teams are looking at. And I've asked them, hey, can you go in and see what's your opinion? Because I asked my agent too, can you ask your guys? And I'm getting different opinions from different organizations, different guys, and then I just kind of take all those and then figure out where I want to go from there. But yeah, at my age and the the training that I've done, I don't think a whole lot's going to change with me. I don't really want to change a whole lot. I felt like I was in a good spot with where I was at. Had a good year. So like, I'm a big guy when it comes to if it ain't broke, don't break it. That's it. Just let it ride. Obviously maintain some things, and the bat speed is the biggest thing for me, is just continuing to maintain. And if I can just increase a half mile an hour more, I think that's going to keep me in this game a little bit longer.
So are you doing anything different this off season than in the past at all?
Yeah, other than potentially not playing winter ball. Yeah, that would be the only thing. Right now I'm out in California for the first month of the season. So that's kind of new. I haven't done that before. But I got a buddy out here who has a facility here, and it's actually, I'm here right now. Just finished working out. So yeah, I'm out here, and just like I said, trying to stay injury free and maintain what I was doing. And then if I can just increase the bat speed a little bit, I think I'll be in a great spot heading into 26.
All right, I've already taken up a bunch of your time, but I do want to get through a few more of your background, a little that kind of stuff. But first, one more question here from Chris. Are you excited about ABS system this year? You've obviously used it the last couple of years in AAA. What are your general thoughts on it? And do you think, as a fan, I can be excited about it. As a player, is it what we dream it is?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
I love it. In 2022, we had it for the second half of the season. Okay. And it was full ABS, so no challenge system. So I like that a lot. I think I had the highest walk rate in my career that year, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But it was like, there were balls that would be coming in. I'm like, it's a strike, because I'm so used to it being called a strike, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, that's a ball.
Yeah.
There's very few where I'm like shocked that it's a strike. I think I'm shocked more so because like a catcher will be set up on the inside and the pitcher throws it outside, and I see the catcher, go across like that, and he catches it, and I'm like, oh, it's a ball. And then the ump would call it a strike because obviously it's the ABS is telling him in his ear it's a strike. So
Right.
those are the few where I'm like, oh, really? But I mean, I never complained with the umpire because it's a
Yeah.
robot. It's right. It's not wrong. So
Exactly.
you just walk away because it's true. It's not, you can't argue that. So I like it a lot. The rules of the game are always intended. If the ball clips the zone, it's a strike.
Yeah.
I know the catchers are upset because it takes away some of the framing. Although with the challenge system, I would say it doesn't, because if you got a catcher that can frame, you're gonna fool umpires, so they're gonna call some ball strikes, and then it's on the hitter then to challenge. And
Right.
in certain cases, the hitter's not going to challenge.
Yeah.
So
I think that's why I like the challenge system. I do agree with you that, we do now have this ability to get everything right,
mm-hmm.
which is great. But then you do lose a little bit of that strategic, working the umpire. No, that's not the right way to say it. Working with the umpire.
Yeah. Fooling the umpire.
Yeah. All right. So, again, just in general, congratulations on an awesome year and the time with the Twins, finally getting that opportunity. I'm sure there have been times, like you said, over the last 4 or 5 years where you've been in AAA just hoping, just wondering. But, congratulations. I do want to go back. You grew up in Illinois?
Yep.
What are maybe some of your earliest memories of baseball, T-ball, some of those things that kind of made that your sport?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I did spend a little time in Detroit, Michigan. I grew up there for about 5 years and then moved back to Chicago. So
Okay.
born in Chicago, went to Michigan for 5-6 years and then came back to Chicago. But I used to go to Tigers games all the time. Actually, my dad's the company my dad worked for had tickets, and we'd sit right behind the dugout and we'd go see them play.
Oh, wow.
And it was kind of interesting, as some of the guys that played on that team ended up being coaches of mine in the Red Sox system. So I would tell them, like, hey, I used to watch you play at the Tigers way back in the day. So that was cool. And then we'd always go to Cooperstown when we were kids to play there. So I played there when I was 10, and then again when I was 12, and then my brothers both played there, so I went on those trips as well. But we'd always go see a game at Yankee Stadium. I grew up a Yankee fan, so watching Derek Jeter and Alex Rodriguez, Posada, Mark Teixeira, all those guys, Bernie Williams. That's just like, that was kind of my childhood. So kind of like walking around Cooperstown and then going to see those games is, some good memories.
That's amazing. I was going to ask, because you're some of the players you kind of grew up either liking or emulating. Were you always a shortstop, and that made Jeter the kind of the guy, or?
Yeah, it was. As I got older, I kind of got away from him, and I started looking more at some grinder guys like Brandon Crawford, and I like watching Andrelton Simmons. Love watching Cano too, Robinson Cano. Played against him a couple times down in the Dominican, which was really cool. It's amazing he's still playing. Like, it's just so cool watching him.
He's still hitting home runs.
Yeah, crazy.
Wow. Did you play other sports?
I did. I played hockey for 15 years.
You did? Oh, in
high
school?
Yeah.
Was that ever a potential, I don't want to say career, but maybe was it a college option too?
Yeah, no, it was between hockey and baseball. Growing up in Michigan, my parents, they were like, hey, do you want, because hockey is like, it's so different than baseball, because like if you're not playing juniors by 15, 16, or in the OHL at whatever time, it's kind of like, well, you're on the clock at that point. You got to start so young. And when we were moving back to Chicago, hockey just wasn't as big in Chicago. Blackhawks hadn't won any championships yet. We came back in 2005. So yeah, I got, the Hawks won their first one in 2009, and then they won again in 13 and then 15. So hockey really wasn't that big there. And so they're like, do you want to stay in Michigan and build it with a family? And I was like 11 at the time. So I was like, I don't want to leave my family and go live away from you guys. So ended up moving to Chicago with them. And I still played hockey in Chicago, but once I started playing high school hockey, it kind of was like, okay, like now I'm just doing this for fun. Like there's, I'm not going to be playing college hockey past this, and
Okay.
we're going to focus on baseball.
What did you do any of the national circuit type of stuff in high school for baseball? I don't want to say Team USA, but Perfect Game and some of those types of tournaments.
Yeah, Perfect Game was really just kind of starting when I was doing that. That was back in 2009. I want to say 2008, 2009. So yeah, I was playing for a travel team called the Illinois Sparks. They're still a pretty prominent travel team. They go down to the Perfect Game tournaments down in Jupiter and out in Iowa. So yeah, I went to a few of those tournaments growing up. I committed to Creighton University after my sophomore year of high school.
Oh, okay.
So like I kind of, I don't know. I my senior year I didn't do as much of it just because I was like, well, I'm already committed, so there's really no point in spending the money to fly down to Florida and play all these games and stuff like that. So, but I also wasn't I wasn't as good as some of these kids are today. I mean, I see some of these guys training in here with me, and I just, it blows my mind at how good they are. And I'm just like, I show them videos of me at like their age. I'm like, dude, this was me at your age right now, and I'm just like, this is not the same player, like not even close. So
So what you're saying is you didn't quite look like Walker Jenkins when
yeah,
you were
no,
his age?
no. My first weigh-in my freshman year of college was 148 pounds. It's like it's like I was sticking weights in between my shorts just to try to make weight.
Wow. Was that about like when you committed after your sophomore year? Was that kind of right when you were? I guess my question was, at what point did you realize that a D1 option might be out there for baseball? And did you give thought to other schools? Or I mean, Creighton's got a tremendous program.
Yeah, no, they my parents had talked to me kind of like right after my freshman year, and they're like, is this, baseball's, because I mean we were already on the path of really both. I mean, I was playing AAA hockey, I was also playing, high level baseball with the Sparks, and they were like, what, is there one that you would want to do? And I said, I think baseball is the one I want to do. So that was when I stopped playing the AAA hockey, and then I went into the high school hockey just for fun, and I played with my older brother there. But yeah, and then baseball is what really kind of took over from then on out. And I didn't play hockey my senior year, just didn't want to risk getting hurt going into college. So, but yeah, that was kind of right around freshman year, when I was freshman year of high school, was when I realized, like, okay, I think we're going to play Division I baseball.
So I talked the last couple off seasons with Isaac Collins, because we also have a Brewers site.
Sure.
And I know I think you just missed him.
I did.
But I think he played 1 year with Lopez, maybe, or no.
Yeah, me and Lopez, we finished together. I graduated and Lopez was drafted.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know he talked a lot about where Lopez was drafted, like 9th round, and he wanted to beat that or something like that. But he talked about the coaches, the opportunities at Creighton. It isn't a huge school, but at the same time, you felt like like you belong kind of thing. Is that generally your experience at Creighton?
Yeah.
You know that area well?
I do. Yeah, I know. They call him Ike. Yeah, I picked up on that. I played against him in the minors a little bit, and but yeah, I talked to him actually when I debuted. He came over and we talked a little bit. And I mean, side note, he had a tremendous season this year. It was so cool watching him play. He's a good player. But yeah, I spoke with him a little bit. We exchanged notes on Creighton a little bit. And Alan Roden's another guy who went to Creighton, so we talked a little bit too when he got to the Twins. But yeah, I mean, my teammates that I had at Creighton were great. Went to a lot of their weddings, stood up in a lot of their weddings as well, and it's cool watching them have kids. And I played in Omaha last year for the Royals organization, so I was pretty close to a lot of my teammates there. And it was, like I said, it's just cool watching their kids, come out to games and stuff like that, and the relationships that you'll have forever.
So 4 years you go undrafted. Were you surprised not to get drafted? And how quickly were you then hearing from, like you mentioned, you played for Gary for a year, I think 2016. What was that transition, I guess, from college to maybe some disappointment to I still have an opportunity here?
Yeah. Long story, I guess.
Sorry.
So no, you're good. You're good. So yeah, graduated in 2016. I didn't have a good senior year. I really thought I should have been drafted my junior year. I think we led the nation in defense that year, like a 985 fielding percentage or something like that. I think I led the team in home runs, RBIs, doubles. I hit like 285, like something like that. So I thought I should have been drafted. Just looking at some of the guys that had been drafted that year, at least the last pick in the draft, right? Something. It's like crazy seeing some of these names I saw pop up there, but yeah, wasn't drafted. I found out later through some assistant coaches that were there that my head coach had told guys or scouts, my junior year, oh, he wants to come back and get his degree. He's not ready for pro ball. Like he had a lot of guys returning, so he wanted to win a championship that year, and we should have had a few guys drafted. We had no one drafted that year, which is crazy. We had multiple guys that should have been drafted, and it just it didn't happen. But I found out why, and then I didn't put together the senior year that I wanted to. So obviously, at that point, it didn't matter what anybody said, good or bad at that point. So, and that's something that I look back on, and whatever, it is what it is. But I think it put me in a good spot because I say this to my dad all the time. Like, had I not gone and played indie ball, I think I would have been done playing professional baseball, like probably within 3 years. If I had gotten drafted, I would have been chewed up and spit out. The training that some of these teams have, development wise, like, it's hit and miss. Like, it's not a guarantee that they're going to develop you the way they should. Everyone's different. Everyone has different needs, and there's so many guys. Like, it's hard for orgs to be individualized with guys. It's a lot of it's just cookie cutter. Like, hey, like, we're all going to work out. Here's the plan. Like, all 200 minor leaguers. Here's the workout for the day, and you guys are going to do the same reps, the same sets. You can do your different weight or whatever, but like, it's the same exercises. So like, had I not gone to indie ball and then met the guys I met through indie ball, they're still my guys to this day. Like, I don't think I'd be where I'm at. So I'm just forever grateful for having gone through that, even though at the time I didn't see it as such.
Right. So what was it like did you have other offers? Did the Red Sox call and just immediately you say yes? I mean, at that point, you're not getting, like, you might get a flight to Fort Myers or something, but that's probably about it.
Yeah, no, it was. So I played the 2017. Well, I graduated in 2016, and no indie ball team wanted me in 2016. I tried out for teams, and they just said no. Really? They said you're good enough, but you don't have any pro experience, so we can't sign you. And I was like, what is indie ball for? Like, this exactly. Nobody really has experience here. But they wanted, even if it was indie ball experience, like, they wanted those guys. So it was tough for me to get an opportunity in 2016. So I pretty much just trained for 2016, and then going into 2017, it's crazy how this all worked out. My little brother was at a showcase in Illinois. He still played baseball at the time. And my mom was there, and she's going around asking people, why did my son get drafted? Why not? And she ended up meeting this one college coach who knew my indie ball coach. And he's like, oh, let me make a phone call and see. And so if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have gotten the job with the indie ball team. And then it wouldn't have led to what it led to.
Do you think that the fact that you were in Fort Myers with the Red Sox gave maybe the Twins the ability to see you more? I know they play a lot in spring training. They've got a lot of, not instructional league, whatever that's called now, bridge league games against each other back and forth. Did you have a pretty good sense of the Twins organization this year when you signed with them?
No.
None.
All I knew was how to get to the stadium. That was about it. But yeah, I had no idea I didn't know anybody really with the Twins. So yeah, I was kind of just, going in blind. But I'd heard good things through guys. I knew guys that played for the Twins. I had reached out to some of them and asked before I signed, and I heard all good things. So obviously it all worked out, and it's a great place to be.
I was looking at kind of your year by year, and not only like how you did, but who some of your teammates were. And you mentioned Jaron Duran earlier. You were teammates with him in like 2019 and 21 and 24. And, it was kind of cool to see, Tristan Casas, I think, was on the team a couple of times. Cutter Crawford. Is that part of the cool thing, whether or not you got to the big leagues or not, is just I got to know these people that are on TV all the time. I know it's not the same, and it's much better once you're added to it, but that's a small baseball fraternity that just sticks together, and you
Mhm.
kind of got to feel good for each other too, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, when Duran got called up in 2021, he called me right away and said, "Hey, they're calling me up," and obviously I was stoked for him. And
Yeah.
he gave me a call too last year when he was going to the All-Star game. He called me. He's like, "Hey, they picked me for the All-Star game." So obviously he's been through a lot in his life, and I'm seeing him here this week. He lives
Cool.
in Southern California, so I'm gonna
Okay.
link up with him and see him. But yeah, he's a good dude. I mean, he's an all-time teammate for sure. But yeah, I mean, I gave him a call too as soon as as soon as I got the news that I was debuting. He was, I think, my second call, so I called him right away and let him know. But yeah,
Did
it's
you guys,
cool.
did you guys play Boston during your time in the big leagues?
No,
The spring
they were
training.
they were in town at the end of July, right before I had
Um,
gotten called up, so I just missed them.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay. That would have
yeah,
been pretty cool because I imagine
it
there's
would have.
several. Yeah.
Yeah, I know Alex Cora pretty well, and their third
Yeah.
base coach too. And I mean, the whole staff over there was, good friends of mine, and obviously pretty much all the guys on the team too. Rafaela in center, Abreu and
Yeah.
right, Duran, Cassis, Sogard. I mean, all of them.
Yeah. No surprise they're right in that brink of a really good playoff team too.
Yeah.
Last couple questions. I'll let you go. What are some of the things that you enjoy doing away from the game of baseball, whether it's in the off season or just on a day off?
Mhm. Yeah, well, out here in California, we've been going to the beach a little bit, which is nice. It's good weather.
Yeah.
But yeah, spending time with my girlfriend and the dog, and just getting some sunshine out here has been great. But back home, I mean, it's pretty much just training. You get in, you train 2-3 hours a day. I like to in the winter, I'll get out in the pond, play some pond hockey. I miss skating and playing hockey. So I'll go out. My younger brother actually played professional hockey
Okay.
in the Federal Prospects League and then in the Southern Professional Hockey League as well.
Okay.
But he just retired, so they're him and my older brother are playing in some men's leagues, and I'll go out and watch those a little bit. But I do like playing hockey.
Maybe you should chat up. I don't know if you got to know him much, but Justin Morneau.
I've
He's
heard about
always
this.
hosting it with Mauer and all kinds of
Yeah,
those
I've heard
guys.
about this. I might have to try to get in on that. That's what some guys were talking about. If I could get in that game.
Oh, I mean, but even there's like NHL guys like Mark Parrish and Dustin Bufflin, and I mean,
Yeah,
there's all kinds of. That'd be fun, I think.
I'd love
Maybe
to.
Cruise Fest or something. They could do
I would love to.
that. You mentioned your girlfriend. Obviously, she's famous on TikTok and Instagram. I did notice, however, is it a competition? You have more followers on Instagram.
Yeah, I don't.
Is
I
that a
mean,
point of contention? We do not bring that up.
no, she's cool with it. It's I didn't even try to do it honestly. Just playing in the Red Sox organization and then their AAA team was really what kind of boosted it. They do a really good job there with all their social media, and
Okay.
there was one video is that the only reason I really blew up was I used to always go to this farm to get some raw milk and other stuff. I had to go shopping at this farm basically, and there's this kid that lived next door to the farm, and he was always in his front yard just swinging a bat. And I decided one day I'd stop, and I talked to him, and I was like, "Hey, the Woo Sox?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Do you know who Ryan Fitzgerald is?" I was like, I know that kind of sounds like conceited, but I was decently well known over there, so like it
Yeah.
wasn't. And he's like, "Yeah, I do." I was like, "That's me." He's like, "No way." I was like, "Yeah, you want a bat?" Like I had a couple bats in my trunk, so I opened up my trunk, gave him a bat, and then we had him come out to a game with him and his family. So that video is what kind of took off, and
That
it
is
got me a lot of
awesome.
followers.
That's one thing I forgot to grab the screenshot, but the Woo Sox, the Worcester, is that how you
Yeah,
pronounce it?
yeah,
Worcester?
Worcester.
Worcester. There we go.
Yeah.
They gave you a bobblehead.
Hmm.
They had a farewell to Ryan after you were
Yeah.
taken in the Rule 5 draft in the middle of the winter.
Yep.
I mean, you just must have had an amazing time and experience there with
Yep.
not just the on field, but clearly you made an impression.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they picked me, but they did. I did a lot of stuff for them in the community. I mean, but they made it easy. It was fun. I enjoyed it. They gave me a bottlehead. They gave me the key to the city. They did a whole merch line for me. So it was I don't know. It's still one of my favorite times playing in my career was playing there.
not necessarily a fair question to ask, especially if you've been answering questions for a while now. Who are some of the people that you'd shout out as far as helping you get to the point you're at right now in your career? I know you go back to Little League and all the way through high school and college and every minor league coach probably, but are there a couple people that kind of stand out? And I'm guessing from what you've talked about, maybe your siblings and your family.
Yeah, I was obviously number one is going to be, my parents and my brothers. They've been huge for me, every aspect of life. They're obviously super supportive, especially when I was making $800 a month playing indie ball, living at home, and they're supporting me and just telling me to keep going. So obviously they're number one, but some of the guys that have helped me on the field would be Ryan Johansson. He's a hitting guy. He used to be with the White Sox. He was a coordinator for them for a few years, and he's from the Illinois area. Another one is Bill Miller. He's a trainer of mine. Still train with him. He's we train a little differently. You got to when you're this, getting to this age and trying to maintain and keep up with some of the kids coming into the game these days, but. He would be another one. And Devin DeYoung, another hitting guy. He was with the White Sox, the Red Sox, and now he's with the Mets, I believe. He's done a lot for me as well. So those would definitely be my top three. Another one would be Sean Osborne. He's opened up facilities for me and helped me out a lot. He was a summer college coach of mine back in 2015. And then the other place I train at would be it's the Bo Jackson Dome. He opened up a big dome in the Chicago area, and we all go in there. A lot of the pro guys go in there in the mornings. They got 2 full-size infields, all turf. They got a football field inside there, weight room. So we go in there and we hit. They got all the machines and everything. And so the owner of that is Jim Thompson. So he's been huge for me in my career as well.
That's awesome. Do you pay attention to the off-season stuff? I mean, maybe it's different this year, but obviously lots going on with the Twins organization, not only manager, coaching staff. Do you pay attention to any of that, or you try to stay away from that stuff?
Yeah, I don't pay attention in season or out of season, honestly. When I got to the big leagues this year, when I got called back up, I guess in August, I knew we weren't in first place, but I was like, do we have a shot to make the playoffs? Like, where are we at? I don't even know. Like, I'm in AAA. I don't really pay attention.
We just traded 10 guys in the last 4 days.
Yeah, I had to leave the locker room when we were down in AAA during the trade deadline because you got guys that are just glued to their phone and like, oh, this is happening. I was like, I can't deal with this. I was like, I'll be out in the field if you need me. It's like, So I try not to pay attention. I can't control any of it. So me worrying about anything isn't going to help.
If you did go play in the Dominican, is that something you'd think like a few weeks or a few days or?
I usually play the second half of the season.
Oh, okay.
There. Yeah, that's what I've done the last. Yeah, I've done that last 2 years. But again, I don't even look at it in terms of getting ready. It's just I love going down there. It's just fun. Like atmosphere is it's unmatched. Like it's playoff baseball every game there. Like they want to win. They don't care how you win. It's just like find a way to win.
Yeah. Well, and as I warned you, I can talk forever, but I'm trying to think. There was one more question I wanted to ask, but now I'm forgetting it. So I'll think of it here after we're done. But I do want to say thanks for this. It's been almost an hour, and it's been great. We got a few questions from Chris, and so thank you, Chris. But again, congratulations on not only it's a great story. It's always fun seeing guys on the quote unquote wrong side of 30 finally get that opportunity. I played in college with Chris Coast, and he was the 33-year-old rookie and won a World Series with the Phillies. Cool. And I love those stories. But honestly, you played well, and you put yourself in position to, whether it's with the Twins or elsewhere, get opportunities.
Yep.
Home runs, the defense, the athleticism. So again, congratulations to you, and again, thanks for doing this. I apologize for going a little long, but
no, you're good.
Now you got to get re-stretched out so you can start working out again.
No, it's all good. Thank you so much, Seth.
All right, thank you again, and again, thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully, we'll have a few of these each week, and go Twins.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you. I got to hit end stream. My mouse isn't working. There we go.